Hey everyone, welcome. On this channel, we're going to get into an advanced look at the story Disastrous Necromancer. Come with me as we unravel the journey of Lin Moyu, from his beginnings to him becoming a force to be reckoned with in a mysterious new world. If this story sounds like something you'll enjoy, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps us keep providing these in-depth looks into the world of Disastrous Necromancer. Now let's continue.
Using a Supreme's rule origin for body refinement was top-tier treatment even in ancient times. Moreover, Lin Moyu's rule refinement was different. Even in ancient times, a Supreme would not use all of their rule origin to refine someone else's body. Rule origin was the most important component of a rule world, extremely precious. Using even a tiny bit would make a Supreme feel distressed. However now, the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha was dead, and the Blackstone Supreme took out all of its rule origin for Lin Moyu alone to use. If this were in ancient times, this amount of rule origin would be enough for 1,000 people to use. Lin Moyu's physical body began to change, with impurities becoming fewer and fewer, completely refined by the rule origin. When the impurities were completely removed, the Divine King Golden Body suddenly changed. Within the golden light, a trace of purple light was born, exuding a noble aura. The purple light was somewhat similar to the color of the soul. The soul had different colors for different grades, with the Divine Lord Realm soul corresponding to the 4th grade, jade color. Then jade soul would give birth to purple, elevating to the 5th grade Other Shore Realm, purple jade soul. The physical body was obviously not like this, as purple light appeared after the 14th stage of the Divine King Golden Body. The purple light and golden light fused together, becoming an indescribably noble purple gold color. The Blackstone Supreme looked at Lin Moyu's changes and said in a muffled voice, "The purple golden body is formed. You now have the foundation for unifying spirit and flesh. Next, you need to enter the Star River and complete the unification of spirit and flesh. I will assist you, but ultimately it depends on you. As for the specific method, you need to comprehend it yourself. If you can't comprehend it, it only means you're an idiot." The Blackstone Supreme's words were not polite at all. Lin Moyu knew this and wasn't angry at all. The Blackstone Supreme was using his last moments to pave the way for him. He felt only gratitude in his heart. "I won't disappoint you, Senior." The Blackstone Supreme snorted, "No need to be so polite, there's not much time left anyway. This rule world is about to collapse, be prepared." A large amount of rule origin had been extracted, and the rule world was already on the verge of collapse. The earth shook and rumbled, with countless cracks appearing. The flames receded, the ice melted, everything had vanished. A few minutes later, with a light sound, the entire rule world shattered like a bubble. The laws of the great world surged in, and Lin Moyu reconnected with the laws. He had a sudden inspiration and silently shouted in his heart, "Open." The Lost Star River appeared in the starry sky, and in the next second, Lin Moyu flew towards the Lost Star River. The Lost Star River surged turbulently, with the undying law stirring up huge waves in the Lost Star River, crashing against both shores. As Lin Moyu's physical body approached the Lost Star River, it encountered strong resistance. He was only 100 meters away from the Lost Star River, but these 100 meters were like an insurmountable chasm, difficult to cross. Lin Moyu struggled to move forward, not daring to relax at all. The reason it was so difficult was that the Lost Star River was not a place for the physical body to go in the first place. When others advanced to the Divine Lord Realm, they only needed to summon the Lost Star River in their soul world, let their soul enter it, and receive the baptism of the Lost Star River. Once the soul merged with the Lost Star River and was recognized by it, the soul could roam freely in the Lost Star River. At the same time, the power of the Lost Star River would feed back to the physical body through the soul, further strengthening the physical body. The physical body was passively strengthened in this way. Even at the Divine King realm, it couldn't possess the Divine King Golden Body. For Divine Lords, the physical body was just a container to hold the soul. As long as the soul was strong enough, that was sufficient. The physical body wasn't that important. But for Lin Moyu, it wasn't like this. He needed to achieve the unification of spirit and flesh, perfectly advancing to the Divine Lord Realm. Even the great accomplishment of the Divine King Golden Body wasn't enough. At least the purple golden body was needed. Only with the purple golden body could the physical body qualify to enter the Lost Star River, allowing both the physical body and the soul to receive the baptism of the Lost Star River together. Lin Moyu felt that he had thought too simply before. He thought it was the same as perfectly advancing to the Divine King realm. As long as the physical body reached the small Divine Lord realm before advancing to Divine Lord, it would be a perfect advancement. The reality was not like this at all. Now he knew that only by completing the unification of spirit and flesh would it be a true perfect advancement. Fortunately, he had met the Black Stone Supreme, otherwise, he would have taken the wrong path. Without a perfect advancement, it would be much more difficult to rely on the physical body to reach the other shore in the future. Moreover, without a perfect advancement, it would be harmful rather than beneficial for the future. The physical body moved towards the Lost Star River step by step with great difficulty, but the resistance it faced became greater and greater. The huge waves in the Lost Star River grew higher and higher, each wave like a giant hand slapping over, with invisible force trying to push Lin Moyu away. Lin Moyu resisted the huge waves, gritting his teeth, steadily moving forward step by step. 80 meters. 60 meters. Getting closer and closer to the Lost Star River. When the distance was only 50 meters, a huge wave formed by the undying law suddenly surged out from the Lost Star River, heavily striking Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu grunted, his entire body emitting purple golden light, retreating half a step before forcefully blocking it. He was like a purple golden star in the dim starry sky, extremely noble, making it impossible for others to look directly at him. Lin Moyu made a slight adjustment and continued to approach. 40 meters. Another huge wave came crashing towards him. This time Lin Moyu no longer passively endured but threw out a punch. The starry sky immediately lit up, with a purple golden giant fist breaking through the void, colliding with the huge wave. The huge wave shattered, and the purple golden giant fist also vanished. The two were evenly matched. Lin Moyu showed no joy. This punch had already used his full strength. If it was like this at 40 meters, the difficulty would surely increase further. At this moment, he began to doubt whether he could walk into the Lost Star River. No, that's not right. The moment doubt arose, Lin Moyu realized something was wrong. His belief should not be shaken. Such thoughts should not appear. He looked at the Lost Star River and realized that the Lost Star River was influencing him. The Lost Star River didn't want him to enter. It would use every means to stop him. This was a difficulty on the path of cultivation that he must overcome. Wiping away all inappropriate thoughts, Lin Moyu continued to advance. 30 meters, another huge wave came crashing. Lin Moyu threw out another punch. The huge wave was shattered, but Lin Moyu also retreated 2 steps. After 2 steps back, he stabilized himself and continued forward again. The laws are suppressed. Facing the Lost Star River, I can't use my undying law. I can only rely on my physical strength. No wonder the purple golden body is the foundation. With just the Divine King golden body, one could at most complete the first 50 meters. Since laws can't be used, then I won't use them. I'll act as if I have no laws. Lin Moyu entered a state of selflessness, not using laws, relying solely on his physical strength. The Black Stone Supreme stood to the side, expressionless, but he would occasionally nod slightly, a form of affirmation. Lin Moyu's performance exceeded his imagination. He had almost intervened earlier, but Lin Moyu's performance made him very satisfied. The sound of water echoed in his ears. This was the sound of the Lost Star River, the sound of laws flowing in the river. At this moment, Lin Moyu's vision blurred. He saw a giant appear on the Lost Star River. The giant was half gray and half white, with half of its body in the Lost Star River. The exposed half of its body was 100 meters tall. Lin Moyu was just a tiny speck in front of it. Be careful of the law giant. It is your biggest obstacle. The Black Stone Supreme's voice sounded in his ear. Lin Moyu nodded slightly, extremely cautious. The giant's face was expressionless, its eyes hollow. It reached out its large hand and suddenly slapped down in the Star River. The Lost Star River immediately boiled, with dozens of huge waves surging out of the Lost Star River, crashing towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's punches rained down, and purple gold light beams appeared in the starry sky. The starry sky trembled continuously. Lin Moyu, without using any spells or laws, relied solely on his physical body to shake the starry sky. Each punch was enough to shatter a star, and just a few punches could destroy an entire galaxy. An ordinary divine lord would perish with just one punch. Lin Moyu's punches landed on the giant waves, shattering them, but more waves followed. On the Lost Star River, the law giant continuously slapped the river's surface, creating wave after wave, never ending. Lin Moyu kept punching, continuously shattering the giant waves. The waves couldn't completely push him back, but Lin Moyu also found it difficult to advance, and both sides were in a stalemate. Black Stone Supreme had the intention to intervene again. He gripped the stone stick in his hand but then released it. Let's wait a bit longer. He muttered to himself, wanting to see Lin Moyu's limits. If Lin Moyu could truly step into the Lost Star River without his help, that would be the best outcome. In fact, in ancient times, there was a precise classification for geniuses. Those who endured numerous trials and finally qualified for rule origin body refinement were considered prodigies. Among the many prodigies, there were also strong and weak ones, further subdivided. Those who could approach within 40 meters of the Lost Star River on their own were considered the weakest prodigies. For every additional 10 meters they could approach on their own, it indicated stronger aptitude. The best prodigies were those who could formally step into the Lost Star River on their own. Such individuals were extremely rare, perhaps 1 in 10,000 years. It was so in ancient times, and even more difficult now. Blackstone Supreme didn't expect Lin Moyu to step into the Lost Star River on his own. He only hoped Lin Moyu could reach the first 40 meters, achieving the level of the weakest prodigy, which would be enough. Now, Lin Moyu had reached the first 20 meters, drawing out the Law Giant. Even in their era, this was enough to rank among the top. Blackstone Supreme remembered that when he became a Divine Lord, he only reached the first 30 meters. In other words, Lin Moyu's aptitude had already surpassed his own. Blackstone Supreme was very satisfied with Lin Moyu. Although he didn't show it, his small actions revealed it. He decided to wait a bit longer. If Lin Moyu still couldn't break through, he would intervene. He was well aware of his own situation and couldn't wait indefinitely. His rules were disintegrating. He had actually died long ago, only hanging on by the rule origin. I can't delay any longer. Lin Moyu's heart tightened. He knew Blackstone Supreme's situation. But the current situation left him helpless. He had tried several times to charge forward, but the waves kept coming, overwhelming him. The Law Giant on the Star River showed no signs of fatigue, continuously attacking. Lin Moyu knew he was fighting against the laws of the entire great world and couldn't outlast them. He made a decisive decision: I have to do this. Facing the Lost Star River, his undying law was clearly suppressed, its power greatly reduced. This affected his spells, weakening their power and making it impossible to carry the laws. However, unlike in the rule world, spells could still be used here. Lin Moyu originally intended to rely solely on his physical strength to advance, but now he decided to use spells. After all, spells were also part of his strength and not against the rules. With a thought, the undying flame burned in the starry sky, and the skeleton throne appeared, with the Skeleton King slowly rising from it. The Skeleton King immediately entered battle mode, wielding a bone sword and charging towards the Lost Star River. Its target was not to help Lin Moyu resist the law waves but to directly attack the Law Giant. Before the Skeleton King even got close, it swung its sword, sending out a brilliant sword energy that pierced through the Law Giant. The Law Giant's body paused slightly, its movements slowing down. The rhythm of the waves was disrupted, and Lin Moyu was delighted. It works. He seized the opportunity, punching through dozens of waves in front of him and charging forward. At the same time, he multitasked, summoning a large number of skeleton generals. The skeleton generals unleashed countless sword energies, striking the Law Giant. Under attack, the Law Giant's movements slowed down. The skeleton generals and the Skeleton King had the Lost Star River floating above their heads, with white bones flowing like a river of hell. Each of their attacks contained the Bone Law. Originally, their attacks would also include the Undying Law, making them even more powerful. But even now, it was enough. The Law Giant's attack rhythm was completely disrupted, and Lin Moyu took the opportunity to advance several meters, getting closer to the Lost Star River. Blackstone Supreme trembled all over, muttering to himself, "Undying warriors, the Undying Legion from hell. How could they appear here? How could he summon Undying warriors? What is his identity? Could it be? Could it be?" Several "could it be" phrases, but none were fully articulated. Blackstone Supreme's tone was somewhat lost. If Lin Moyu heard these words now, he might be able to analyze some information. A roar echoed through the starry sky, and countless laws erupted from the Lost Star River. The Law Giant stopped slapping the river's surface and instead swung a giant hand towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu finally got within 10 meters, drawing a heavy blow from the Law Giant. Lin Moyu didn't flinch, throwing a punch. Boom! The starry sky shook violently, with dense cracks appearing like a spider web. Lin Moyu was pushed back several meters, but he was prepared. The skeleton generals stood behind him, forcefully catching him. The Law Giant's hand also had a huge hole punched through it. The hole was healing, but the healing speed was slow. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate, charging forward again. The Law Giant's other hand also swung down. Another violent collision, and Lin Moyu was sent flying again. Fortunately, he had arranged a large number of skeleton generals, forming a wall of skeletons to catch him. In contrast, the Law Giant had large holes in both hands, temporarily unable to use them. "Let's see how you stop me now." Lin Moyu chuckled and charged towards the Lost Star River. The law giant opened its mouth, spewing out a stream of gray-white gas. The gas shot towards Lin Moyu like arrows. At this moment, the Skeleton King arrived, blocking the gas with its bone sword. The sound of continuous impacts echoed, and the Skeleton King trembled as if electrocuted, uncontrollably retreating. Then the Skeleton General stepped forward, forming a shield to block the gas. With the help of the skeletons, Lin Moyu, bathed in purple gold light, charged into the Lost Star River. The law giant let out an unwilling roar and then dissipated. Lin Moyu took a deep breath, finally made it. He stood in the Lost Star River, feeling the familiar undying law, clearly sensing the laws continuously entering his body, merging into every inch of his flesh. The sensation of pain, numbness, and itching kept coming. Having reached this point, he was unsure of what to do next. Unifying spirit and flesh, in his understanding, meant merging the soul and body into one, indistinguishable from each other. But how exactly should he do it? He couldn't just blow up his soul and merge it into his body, could he? That clearly wasn't the way. Blackstone Supreme suddenly appeared at the edge of the Lost Star River. I'll guide you. Lin Moyu sensed something off in Blackstone Supreme's tone, as if he was suppressing some emotion. Senior, are you all right? Lin Moyu asked. Blackstone Supreme urgently replied, stop with the nonsense, I don't have much time left. I will guide you with the origin of the laws. How much you can comprehend is up to you. As soon as he finished speaking, Blackstone Supreme's entire being exploded, and an invisible force surged into Lin Moyu's body, entering his soul world. The pitch-black origin power of the laws started from the soul world and flowed into every part of his body. Lin Moyu immediately followed, channeling a large amount of soul power to follow the origin of the laws, flowing into every part of his body. Lin Moyu had previously done this when transporting the stars of spells, so he was quite familiar with it. But today, the feeling was completely different. At this moment, countless laws were pouring into his body from the river of laws. Even the most hidden corners of his body were being infused with the power of the laws. These corners were usually inaccessible. If Lin Moyu were to control the laws himself, it would be impossible to touch these areas. They were like guiding lights, showing him the way. At the same time, Blackstone Supreme's origin of the laws also joined in, flowing along with the river of laws. It also provided guidance. Unlike the river of laws which flooded like a torrent, it had its own rhythm, moving from one place to another, always maintaining balance. Lin Moyu suddenly realized what he needed to do. He divided his soul power into countless parts, merging them into every inch of his body. Merging the soul power with the body's strength, this is the union of spirit and flesh, thereby unleashing greater power. Whether it was spells or his own strength, both would be greatly enhanced. Blackstone Supreme's origin of the laws guided Lin Moyu, merging the soul power into his body bit by bit. The entire merging process was very complex, not as simple as from top to bottom or from left to right. The whole body had to be seen as a whole, emphasizing absolute balance. Often, a bit would be merged in the east, and then a bit in the west. Lin Moyu began to understand the role of the river of laws. The river of laws merged into his body, illuminating the entire body, not missing a single tiny point. With the guidance of Blackstone Supreme's origin of the laws, the process of merging spirit and flesh went very smoothly. As more and more soul power merged, Lin Moyu could clearly sense that his body's strength was also rapidly increasing. Moreover, the power of the river of laws began to move towards the soul world, aiming to baptize the soul. Everything seemed to be going so smoothly that as long as it continued, Lin Moyu would surely complete the union of spirit and flesh. Lin Moyu remained vigilant, not relaxing in the slightest. He could already feel that not only was his body a whole, but the process of merging spirit and flesh was also a whole. From start to finish, there could be no mistakes. Any mistake, at best, would greatly reduce the effect, making it impossible to achieve perfection. At worst, it would directly collapse, wasting all previous efforts. And there was only one chance, as the river of laws had already begun to baptize the body, and then it would baptize the soul. Once the baptism started, it couldn't be stopped, and there was only one chance. The progress was increasing bit by bit, and when it reached 1/3, Blackstone Supreme's origin of the laws suddenly stopped. At the same time, Blackstone Supreme's voice sounded in Lin Moyu's mind, his voice clearly weak. I am about to return to the void. You are very good, even in my era, you would be a top genius. If it were that era, I would surely take you as my disciple. Hey, I am a bit delusional. What qualifications do I have? The rest of the path is up to you. Complete the union of spirit and flesh, and advance perfectly to God Supreme, rebuilding the divine path. I don't really believe that our great era will end just like this. Maybe they are still fighting somewhere, maybe on the divine path. If you can rebuild the divine path, help me see if my old friends are still there. My origin of the laws still has some left, I will leave it all to you. They will become seeds, and when you reach the other shore and achieve Saint Supreme, building your own world of laws, they will be the best nourishment. Don't be polite, use them well. I am leaving. The voice grew fainter, and the consciousness gradually dissipated. The origin of the laws that had been guiding Lin Moyu became still. They just stayed quietly in his body, curled up, motionless. Lin Moyu knew that Black Stone Supreme had truly passed away, and he called this passing, returning to the void. Lin Moyu saw a piece of broken stone appear in the starry sky, looking like a coffin. The coffin shattered the space, following some unknown rule, heading to an unknown place. Lin Moyu didn't need to look to know that the place it was heading to was the mysterious space where the Great World was located. The former star-shattering Supreme was like this, and now Blackstone Supreme was the same. That place was their final resting place. Lin Moyu sighed. Although he had only known Blackstone Supreme for half a day, it felt like meeting an old friend late in life. From Blackstone Supreme, Lin Moyu saw the demeanor of ancient strongmen. Collecting his thoughts, he continued the process of merging spirit and flesh. From now on, without Blackstone Supreme's guidance, everything depended on him. He couldn't make a single mistake, as one mistake could lead to total failure. Lin Moyu focused, using the experience he had accumulated to continue merging the soul power into his body. His speed was much slower than before, and he was very careful, not daring to be careless. With high concentration, Lin Moyu constantly analyzed the next position, maintaining absolute balance between the body and soul power. Gradually, he discovered that the body was like a huge and complex array. What he was doing now was like drawing the array. Each part was a node of the array, with a very particular order, and the balance of the entire array had to be maintained. During the process of merging spirit and flesh, Lin Moyu found that he had a new understanding of arrays. Having a lot of experience in drawing arrays and personally creating complex arrays, once he saw the body as an array, Lin Moyu felt more and more at ease. Unexpectedly, there is an additional benefit. Seeing the body as an array, the process of merging spirit and flesh became faster and smoother. Of course, it couldn't compare to the guidance of the Supreme, but it was much faster than before. Lin Moyu felt that he could complete the union of spirit and flesh before the baptism was finished. As the completion rate of the union of spirit and flesh increased, Lin Moyu's aura also gradually rose. The entire river of laws roared continuously, with a large number of laws turning into huge waves, crashing down on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu sat like a mountain in the huge waves, unmoved. Countless laws continuously drilled in, baptizing the body and soul. Lin Moyu's whole body emitted purple gold light, and the purple gold body grew stronger. The previous purple gold body was only considered elementary, but now it was approaching the intermediate level. Yu Qingro woke up at some point and saw this miraculous scene. Instinctively, she wanted to exclaim, but immediately covered her mouth, suppressing the sound. The body entering the river of laws, how is this possible?